So, Dimitri, would you? Our first guest speaker is Dimitri, who has
Say it. Say it.
from
We'll talk
Greece.
about houses
Yeah.
and the
So,
prices and stuff like that.
and you asked if you could do a little talk. So, go for it.
So uh, the idea is that we wanted Joomla to have a safer deployment. Um, few weeks ago we had some incident with a very known component about mailing lists and stuff like that. So anything that Joomla could do to prevent some such incidents, it's very good for the whole community. Right. So the TLDR, kinda, is that this is an opt-in deployment option that enables separation of static assets and entry points from the rest of the application files. Opt-in means that there are no backwards compatibility breaks. The classic way of deploying Joomla, what you used to do since Joomla 1.5 still works. Essentially, what this is the implementation of an RFC that Niels Brasek opened like half 1 year ago or something like that, 1.5 years ago. And basically, he describes it better than I could write something about it. So the summary is separate the server-side code from publicly accessible assets. And the reason, the why bother, is that the simplest and safest way to avoid access to arbitrary files and to restrict access only to specific files is to have a separate directory for public files. This approach has the advantage that it works independently of the web server used and requires no further configuration other than setting the document root. Right. So what we used to have up till version 5, and actually you can use it as it is also in version 5 because there's no BC break. The idea is that you have in your server all the folders and files like administrator, components, modules, libraries, media, etc., etc. And this is the problem with this is that anything that is anywhere in the server is publicly accessible. Okay, there is a nuance here, like you can do things with htaccess and disable things, but the main idea is that anything that you put in the root folder of your server is publicly available. So in Joomla 5, the opt-in, because it's not by default, you have to opt in to this thing, is that you can have a subfolder or a folder that is even in a different tree than the actual part of the Joomla that has the PHP files and stuff like that. And it has extremely less files than the actual Joomla. As you can see, it has like an image and media with a squiggly thingy there, which denotes that this is not actual folders. There are theme links, like there are things that pointing to another folder. And then there are some indexes and some htaccess and robots, classic server things. But the why do we bother, right? So one thing is that we want to reduce fingerprinting. As I said earlier, once you have a file anywhere in some subfolder or directly in your server, you can use that file, you can access that file directly from the URL portion of your browser. And reducing the fingerprinting is good because people cannot find out what you're running, what version and stuff like that. The other thing is that you reduce immensely access to the actual PHP files. So right now, the any PHP file in the Joomla ecosystem, it starts with a line that goes like defined parentheses jexec or die. Actually, what it happens there, the people, the developers of Joomla realized that we have a problem, that any file, any PHP file could actually act as an entry point, like have direct access. And because we don't want that, this will immediately kill the server. Like it starts and it says, no, I don't have this file. I didn't start it as a normal Joomla application, and I die. It's like that. So with this idea of the public folder, this whole nuance is not needed because you don't actually have access to those files. And lastly, but not least, this is a proven good or even best practice that we just copied over from other very famous projects like Laravel, Symfony, etc., etc. So it's a good thing. How it happened? It's extremely easy. You won't believe how easy that thing was to do it. It took only 3 pull requests. In the first pull request, I just created one more constant for the public folder. Then Harald did a very good refactoring of some files that probably you haven't even noticed that they exist, like some defines and includes and stuff like that. But this reduced a lot the need of changes that it have to happen for the public folder. And finally, we created 2 CLI UI. CLI means command line interface. 2 scripts, basically, that you can run either to install Joomla right from the beginning, or if you already have an installation, to upgrade it to use the public folder. One thing that I want to mention here, this doesn't come without limitations or prerequisites or whatever we're gonna call them. So one and very important is that all your templates should support child templates. Why? The reason is very simple, and that was the reason that child templates at the beginning, since Joomla 4.0, had the idea that all the static assets should be in the media folder. And the reason was exactly for this. Like we did it 2 years ago to anticipate that later on in the future, we might want to have the public folder. If the templates have still the CSS and JS and images and stuff like that inside the template name, etc. Folders, then it's impossible to actually do this. Not impossible, but it's extremely hard. The other thing is that uh, users should be able to set the document route for the server. Like if you use Apache, then you should be able to set, okay, my document route is this specific folder. There should be symlink support from the operating system. And of course, you shouldn't be scared of using the terminal. Okay, and how does all this looks like? Demo time. Shall I send, because this is a video, we can.
Oh, I see. You're trying to play stream a video.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Is this?
I don't know if it's possible over meetup.
Okay. Publish it in my website, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. If you could do that and give us a link,
Yeah.
then people can watch it later. So, can I ask a question? Are you basically saying you put most of your files outside the root, the web tree, and you just
Yes.
basically have one small public folder with a reduced
5 files or something like that.
Oh, okay, so you're literally moving everything out and then bringing a few files into the public folder rather than the whole lot.
Yes.
Okay.
So the whole incident with the mailings, I don't want to say the company. If you have this kind of setup, I think it was using a caching folder or something like that, right? For the PHP PNG files.
Sorry,
No?
using a what one?
Where was the files were being
Media.
uploaded?
Oh, it was media.
That was in media.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the original entry was media, and then it seemed to do a load in other files. I mean, I have protection against it, so they didn't get anywhere on the few sites that I had. But I did see other people's and helped a few other people disinfect, and it seems to be coming in media.
Yeah, actually, for what is worth, both the media folder and the images folder, they should disallow executing PHP in these folders.
Yeah,
And whoever puts PHP there should be banned for life to code.
Yeah, there does seem to be a few extensions that have kind of used that.
Yeah, ban them forever.
Just ban them.
Yeah.
Can we cancel them entirely?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
No problem.
Boil them first, then ban them.
Ban them, then cancel them.
Yes. Simultaneously. No, seriously. Jokes aside, it's really bad to use the statics folders to execute PHP.
Yeah.
It's like you confusing different kinds.
Trying to get a different.
I wasn't affected by it because I've got some stuff which stops all that.
Trying to get a different take on it, Dimitri, as a programmer. Why might somebody use that? Is it like a shortcut? Is it a workaround? Is it just laziness? No. I mean, what's the...
What we're doing actually in Joomla right now is a workaround. Like the line that exists in every PHP file is define JExec or die.
Yeah.
That's a workaround. That's a workaround because we couldn't have the other one.
Right.
We couldn't have the other one because the templates had the CSS and JS in their own folders.
Okay.
You see how it goes?
Yeah.
So we had to have the child templates to enable this.
It's a cascading, reducing security thing that we've had to accept.
Yes. It's although the architecture of Joomla was good from the beginning, or at least since 3.0, and all the work that Babkir did with the JHTML : script and style sheet and stuff like that. The whole architecture and the idea that we have separate static assets and different thing for the executables, it was pretty nice. But the thing is, somehow things were confused because people realized, no, people thought that Joomla was WordPress and should do whatever stupid thing WordPress is doing
They do
with,
many things
with their
over there.
templates, and we had this confusion, which we had to resolve it in 4.0, hopefully.
It's a good lesson, and I think this newsletter problem has made a lot of people think, and some people have an awful lot of work. I have one or two clients that I don't directly deal with. They don't host on my servers, and they just get a bit of advice and they ignore that advice. Unfortunately, they were hacked. So I gained a few clients out of it, but for others, it's not necessarily been good. And I know some people have been really badly hit by it. So I think reinforcing why we do things, because it's one of those things, is it's laziness creeps in. Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's just put some PHP files in the thing, and then it then bites you in the arse. That's a technical term, and
that's kind of what I meant by the cascading thing. Is it like it gets ever less secure? The security weakens and weakens every time we add on another layer of less security.
For example, in Joomla 4 we added composer packages, which are in our vendor folder, and all PHP files in this folder from third-party dependencies don't have this JExec or die mechanism. So if any of this third-party components has an issue with this, yeah, you also have the same problem, and your website has a good chance to get hacked.
Wow.
As we already had with in Joomla 3 with GC, I think it was, because they shipped an, I think it was a sample upload file, help file with it.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
And
That's
Explorer was the one before that, but the important thing here is these are all third-party extensions. They're not the core.
Yeah.
And the core.
Yeah, also the core is, if we forget at some point and the JX is gonna die and it's with a problematic file, we also would have an issue. I mean, not really, because our CI would tell us, but maybe we are not lucky. But yeah, as you have seen, third-party extension developers are not always so clean with how to secure the website, how the extension, and how to communicate. Just, for example, this wonderful newsletter extension still didn't send me an email, but I have a lifetime subscription, so nice. So I'm pretty sure there are many people out there that didn't know about this issue.
You subscribe lifetime to paying.
Hey, I don't need to use it.
Many people do that, Dimitri. Many people do that.
Yeah, actually the funny thing is I said to myself, no, I will not use this anymore for client extensions. And today I talked to a client, which project should be ready by end of next week, and he told me, yeah, in our offer we had AC mailing included. Fuck. Oh, sorry. It's the problem is not AC mailing, by the way. No.
Yeah.
Can I just say
Other swear words are available.
No, I was going to say that, and also other newsletter extensions are available. There's a NS one by Maximilian or someone. That's a very one that actually his headline is "We Do It the Joomla Way," and he actually uses a lot of core features and extends those. So, just saying, there are other mailing systems out there that don't actually do
But,
everything from the ground up and not use the
but to
Joomla.
bring this to a point, if you are using AC mailing and you didn't check your website and didn't update it, even if you updated it, please check if you get hacked, because the issue itself has already used starting in February.
Yeah.
So please check any client website where you have AC mailing installed if there are suspicious files on it.
My biggest client is using AC mailing.
For what is worth, Alon Moritz, the guy behind DP Media and DP Fields and stuff like that, DP Calendar, he wrote, I think, the best article how to mitigate the problems from the AC mailing or whatever is the name. And I think if you used it, you should actually read very carefully the steps that are needed. It's not an easy fix, 5 minutes.
No, and there's also things you can do once you fixed it to monitor your files to see if there's anything suspicious going on, because that's the thing. If they have made a backdoor somewhere, they often will lie low for a while, and then act. So, I mean, you may be kind of effectively becoming part of a bot farm. When they need you, they need you. So it's really good to have countermeasures in place. You can do some of that with HT access files, but also have other countermeasures in so that you can check to see if anything's going on and be warned if it is. But yeah, I mean, and also Sigrid did some really good work in the Mattermost community areas, which really helped a lot of people. So if anyone's listening to this and hasn't got a clue what we're talking about, Joomla site, get into Mattermost. If you need help, just reach out to me. And there's an article I wrote in the magazine on how to do that. And then there's loads of advice in various channels on Mattermost on how to mitigate these problems. And I've cleaned a few sites for a few people already. I used to really enjoy cleaning up hacked sites, but I haven't taken any on for ages, and I don't get any myself. So it was that thing. Oh, I like this job, and then thought, oh, it's a bit of a pain for other people who've actually been hacked. But
You're nuts.
Huh?
Just saying, you're crazy.
I'm what?
You're crazy.
Well, I know that. But
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
I'm
I
just
enjoy it.
reiterating for the rest of the people. And
No, I think it's a great thing. I love it when people get hacked and you can as long as it's not your own sites and you're kind of working on other people's, then it's
As I said in my talk the other day in Dark, there's an English word for it, I don't know if it translates, Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
oh dear. Well, I'm just happy I never used that stupid extension. So I just had a bad feeling about it all along. I did have a client way back. I didn't build the site and they were using it. And the thing was so finicky. Like you could make a mistake like that and suddenly you've mailed something to hundreds, thousands of people. And it was so touchy that I vowed I would never, ever use it. I just made people go buy MailChimp or whatever. I think at the time it was Constant Contact because now we're going way back, right? Way back, like 2010. And I'm glad I did that. But for all y'all that want to be brave and keep using it, then great.
One last thing.
It's okay, you can take your time because Martin, I can't see the channel and I've messaged him a few times.
Yeah, I've been trying to slide into his DMs and it's just not.
So yeah, just go for it.
I mentioned earlier that the media folder and the images, the folders that actually the media manager has access. I think we should be brave and disable execution of PHP there, but make an announcement and make it happen.
Harold, how do you feel about that?
Not good.
No, I just want Harold's view because he's in charge of Hive.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Disable every file. Every file, no, not disable. Only allow the 5 files we need.
So
Would be a
what would you
solution.
allow in media?
No, not in media. The whole Joomla installation only have 5 entry points.
Oh, I see.
And actually, we can do this for the public folder easily because there are only these 5 files for us. In normal installation, it's would break extensions. For example, I know a singer sign-on component that's used at identityjoomla.org, for example. I think that would break. But yeah, I'm for it, and I would also do it in the default HD access so people can remove it if they want. But yeah, but not for 5 anymore.
No. So this could be a new feature for 6 that we're announcing here for 2 years' time.
5.1, it's okay.
Yeah, well, actually, it would fit very well with Tough as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that for that to have a good future, I think it's better to to do all the security measures that we can before going to automatic whatever. I think.
Yes.
Yes.
So for people who don't know, Tough is something that Harold and quite a few others have been working on, and David, and they did it at Cloudfest, and you won an award for it a couple of years ago. And it's been done for, basically you wrote it, the concept for all CMSs, and it's for signed updates. And yes, Neil, Frank, that is absolutely right. No PHP files ever in the media. So Tough allows you to have signed updates. So what it means is that someone who's nicking extensions, putting it on their own server, packaging it up with a nice little inside thing, and then offering it for you to install at perhaps a reduced price, very tempting, but obviously with a backdoor in it, they wouldn't be allowed if you're using the system.
Yeah, that's far away, to be honest.
But that's the
For-
idea behind it.
Yeah, that's the end. That's the end game. But for the moment, it's planned for 5.1 to have the core itself updated in a secure manner, so that we can do auto updates later, because we don't want to do it like other CMSs that have not signed updates and push them to a million of pages. So if you hack their server, you have won the internet, more or less.
Yes, I mean you can imagine something like one of the major extensions that you have to install because they don't have it in core, such as Yoast or something like that. That could also be a massive entry point as well.
Yes.
Popularity comes with some significant drawbacks when it comes to security. Like the more popular something gets, the easier is to be hacked, and once it's hacked, then it will affect everybody. That's why everybody is targeting Windows and Android, which are the most popular operating systems, instead of Unix, Macintosh, or iOS, and stuff like that. The popularity is a very, very attractive thing for the hackers. The more, the better.
Gary is ahead of the curve on this one. He's using Windows 3.1, which is extremely unpopular, and so he won't get hacked. On you, Gary.
That's lies. It's 3.1.1. It's the business edition of Windows.
No, that was for work groups.
Work groups, yeah.
Which means that you have a network stack before you didn't have.
He's sticking with it.
So you can be hacked.
I literally used Windows 7 until last year.
He did. I cry.
Yeah. But never got hacked.
No, but you killed so many things.
You never know.
Spent days offline.
Actually,
days.
No, we do know Dimitri. No, sorry. In fairness, we do know he wasn't hacked because, as David said, a broken website can't be hacked.
Exactly. None of my websites ever worked.
I mean, your uptime was minuscule. Anyway, enough ribbing. Well, thank you so much for that. And are you going to be doing a magazine article so we can all follow it?
Yeah, I have to do a lot of things.
Great.
Unfortunately.
Okay, well, we can work on that.
Yeah.
And I know David's going to do some articles as well for basically aimed at developers on best practice and perhaps best practice not to do. Having no one in particular in mind, any extensions, he's going to do those so that hopefully the best practice will spread.
I hope so.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Dimitri.
really good. Thank you, Dimitri. Ah.
La, la, la. It's the only program when we're doing our thing.